Archer and the Devil.
King Kong has feelings, right? Pussy hole. Tea's this important.
That's how important tea was to us.
Right.
That we've now got a whole country addicted to opium.
To have a cuppa.
To have a cuppa. Off your fuck. Why not just eat it there?
Because he didn't want to eat it in front of people. He's not an animal.
I mean, he literally is an animal. Welcome. I only did 2 this week. Go on.
I haven't got my hat on.
Go and get your hat.
Doesn't matter. Carry on.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Carry on.
We're just going.
How about a haircut? So fine.
You look sexy.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Sorry.
To no, you're good. Archer and the Devil, episode 40. We've made it to 40.
40 episodes in a year. Just over a year.
Yeah.
Just over a
year.
With
blips in between. Gaps. How you doing?
It's been a bad week.
It's been a heavy week.
We went from last week thinking, what are we going to talk about this week? Literally last week, I don't know if you noticed, because we started out well, but last week we literally had nothing to talk about. Nothing. Barely anything happened on Lad Bible. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was
our main source of news.
There was nothing to talk about last week at all. And we was like, and if you noticed, there was a few gaps where we were trying to think
I can't remember what we talked about last week.
No, it's the Suez Canal.
Oh, yeah.
And that was about it.
Yeah.
And everything else just kind of went from there. But this week, we might have to do a 4-hour podcast.
I could easily talk for 4 hours today.
Jesus.
About everything that's happened.
There's a lot happened. First of all,
there's been a massive global passing of someone. Who was, basically he was a king.
He wasn't. He was the Queen's husband.
No, DMX.
Oh,
DMX passed away. Earl Simmons, rest in peace.
Was that his name? Earl Simmons?
Earl Simmons, yeah.
And Prince Philip, rest in peace.
That guy died as well.
One of us clearly cares more about one than the other.
Yeah.
I care about dead people equally.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All dead people matter?
All dead... Dead people matter.
Dead people matter.
All of them.
All of them?
Whether you know.
What about Hitler?
There was rappers or not. I care that he's dead.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to look at it.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way. Well, if you believe he's dead, he might be in Argentina.
So Prince Philip died, R.I.P. He didn't get his letter from the Queen.
He didn't.
He was apparently he's 2 weeks short.
I've heard 2 months.
Oh, was it 2 months?
I don't know. But do you think she would have posted it to him? I
think there would have been bare backs.
There you go.
I reckon she'd have made his toast and she'd have slid this envelope and gone, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You know what that is, isn't it? Huh? And he's like, oh, Lizzie. She's like, nah, open it. I bet you don't know what it is. And he'd have gone, oh. And she'd have signed it from question mark like Valentine's Day.
That would have been good.
Or she'd have gone, I'm the fucking Queen.
Yeah.
Curtsy bitch.
Yeah.
And he'd have gone, oh, okay. But no, it's a sad day. I
think everyone's expecting me to make fun of it, but I don't speak ill of the dead overly.
I don't think it's necessarily... he had his moments.
But
he'd done a lot of good, and he'd done some bad.
He was a horrendous racist.
You say that. He made some racist comments.
Yeah, but if he made some racist comments that we know about, what racist comments did he make that we don't know about?
I was looking at a few of them, and some of them...
he said to Aborigines in 2009, do you guys still chuck spears?
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Not great.
And he said
he asked to a student that was in Hong Kong,
yes,
if you stay here too long, you'll get slitty eyes.
Yeah, I get that. That's not ideal.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal. But the man was 99 years old.
Not when he was saying these things 20, 30 years ago.
And... I don't want to say time's different because that's an excuse. It's not an excuse.
My dad said to me, I said to my dad, like, did you hear about Prince Philip? And I said my opinion. And he went, yeah, but he's of that generation. And I think that's a poor excuse.
I don't think it's an explanation that makes you understand a little bit easier, but it's not an excuse as a free-for-all to say what you like.
My issue with it is, if your granddad sat at home now, wherever he is a bit racist, that's one thing. But to have a monarch...
But that's the thing, people that pay attention.
And you've got...
That's the difference.
And in his lifetime, 99 years, so what, he was born in...
1921.
Right, so the Empire was doing very much Empire things at the time.
Yeah, exactly. He was in the Navy, so it was country, England, and all this sort of stuff.
So he should know better.
Yeah.
And he was known to be a serial cheat back in the day.
Was he?
Yeah, apparently he had a lot of affairs.
With the Queen?
No, not with the Queen.
I mean, he was with the Queen when he was 18, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a lot of affairs. Was he 18? Because she was 13 when he was 18.
No, yes. She met him at 13. Not in a romantic way.
Right.
Just literally, they met each other for the first time. And then he went off into the Navy, and I don't know whether they stayed in touch or they got back in touch afterwards. And then when there was like, it got serious, he was like, right, okay, what do I do? And she's like, well, I'm the Queen. And he was like, fair.
Yeah.
I could stay on boats getting blown up, or I could go and quite literally live like royalty.
Yeah.
I'll quit.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say no because...
I didn't realise he was born in Cyprus.
Yes.
And he's still he was the Prince of Greece and Denmark.
Which I don't really
get.
I don't understand. No.
So I'd have gone for that as my title over Duke of Edinburgh. I'd have gone Prince of Greece.
Then he went there. So he was born in Greece.
But that's why he was Prince Philip.
He got shipped to Germany.
Right.
And then the war kicked off, and he was living with a Jewish family, I think, and then they had to flee for obvious reasons. And then I think they flee. Did they flee to England? I imagine. And then he met the Queen and said, right, I don't want to be Prince of Denmark or Greece anymore. Get rid of them and I'll become Duke of Edinburgh. And she went, oh, and that was the end of it.
I did see a thing when someone said like about one of the interviews when someone was asking about the Duke of Edinburgh awards and the grants and everything. He was like, I have no idea. Someone just put my name on it.
He said,
yeah.
No.
So they were like, you should be really, you must be really proud of that. And he was like, I don't know. Someone just said, we're doing this. Do you want to?
No, he was involved.
Was he?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy said he wasn't.
He was involved.
But
apparently he helped invent the WWF as well, which I didn't.
The World Wrestling Federation.
Apparently, he's part of why The Rock and Stone Cold.
No, I like him more now. I'm not a WWF fan.
He was one of the founding fathers of the WWF.
Was he like there?
And then they mentioned pandas, so I don't know if.
Oh, I don't think there was ever a panda in the WWF.
I don't think there was.
I'm not a big fan. I might have missed it.
I don't think there's many endangered species that go into the the ring. I'm not sure.
Maybe there was a panda in the first WrestleMania or
possibly.
Something like that.
We was too young then, weren't we?
Well, we would have been.
But apparently he was one of the founding fathers of the WWF.
I didn't know him and Vince McMahon knew each other all.
I had no idea.
Shocking.
No idea. But anyway, Prince Philip's dead. R.I.P. Prince
DMX
Philip.
Also.
DMX.
He had a drug overdose. Well, a reported drug overdose on the 2nd of April.
X gone give it to you. I was going to have a button.
Oh, for that.
You know, with the bark. He goes,
yeah.
and I was just going to do that.
The thing is, I didn't realise how...
I forgot.
Because Twitter, you've seen a lot of people share things, and the guy was just such an awesome guy.
I don't know that much about him.
There's videos of him like Albanian wedding, just dancing and this random people.
Really?
Yeah. There was like so many things he did that were just like really kind of like. There's a thing with Dave Chappelle years ago on the Chappelle show. He was like on there to perform one song, and Chappelle was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna fuck with him and see what else I can get him to do." So he just kept playing other songs, backing tracks, and he went for 2 hours. I think he did 44 songs. So I got a free DMX concert out of it. Because he was just like the resolute professional. He was just like, if you want me to perform, I'm going to fucking own it.
I appreciate people sharing songs, but please get your X's correct because Exhibit is alive and well.
Someone done that.
So I've seen a couple of people share Exhibit songs, and I'm like, no, it's the wrong X.
Have they put up Pimp My Ride?
Yeah.
Just like
Exhibit is, we just want to point out that Exhibit is alive and well.
At the time of recording.
As far as I'm aware.
Exhibit is alive and well.
I mean, I've not heard otherwise. We've not had a breaking news, so we must be.
Yeah.
Also, sad news, Nicki Graham from Big Brother has also passed away this week, which is a bit strange. Our age.
Yeah, she's 38.
She's been battling anorexia.
Yeah, I mean, I know her for that who is she thing.
I don't know.
And that's it. That's my knowledge of her.
I've seen the article and it mentioned anorexia. Then at the end, there was a suicide awareness thing. So I don't know if she's committed suicide or if she's died from anorexia. Well, I don't know.
We're recording Sunday. This happened last night.
Yes. So there's not many.
So there's not much report yet. But no, I think like the passing of her is no gauge to me whatsoever. I forgot she existed until I saw the headline. But obviously the way she's passed away is fucking terrible.
At our age as well, we've seen pictures of her and it's just not the same.
Have you seen anyone say that's no age yet? You know when people die in certain ages?
I know, yeah, I don't get that.
And there's that window of time where if you fall
it's
in
okay.
That, it's like, I think once you're 50, it's like, oh, what did they die of? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was it?
Oh, I mean, he had a few years
But like
left.
30 to 49.
Oh, that's no age.
It's like, that's no age. That's
no age. I mean, it's true,
It is an age, just 38.
but I don't think there's really any good age to die, is there?
No. I think, well, Prince Philip, when he died in 99, no one said, what did he die of?
No, they went, oh,
Yeah.
he had a good innings.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. He had a good
it's
innings.
like, no age. Oh, okay. Or, they had a good innings.
That's what it
like
is.
It's acceptable. 99, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, he had a good innings.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
38, that's no age, is it?
Yeah, it's a strange
It is a
one.
bit weird. But yes, that's all our RIPs out of the way.
Yeah.
Jesus always comes into this podcast every fucking
That was
week.
you. That wasn't me.
Every week, Jesus appears.
Jesus and Jeff Bezos.
You've said it now.
Well, we had to. It's because it's in it every fucking week. Also in the news this week,
Okay.
Britain have announced that they're going to put 43 million aside for up to 300,000 Hong Kong nationals who are BNOs, British nationals overseas, to relocate.
Is that because Hong Kong's part of the Commonwealth?
We'll go into that.
Oh, okay.
There's a big, rich history
Right.
of why this is happening now.
Okay. Are you Hong Kongese? How do you say it?
Hong Kongese, yeah. I
Not
think.
Hong Kong.
No, oh, you're a Hong Konger?
A Hong Konganian. Hong Konganian.
You're not Hong Kongian.
Hong Kongese.
I think Hong Kongese. But they're also
Really?
the Chinese as well, technically. So Hong Kong I got notes. Hong Kong is called the Hong Kong Special Administration, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China.
Holy shit.
That's the full title of Hong
Imagine
Kong.
writing that every time
You
you have
know
to
what I
around the
mean?
drop down menu. Selecting that fucker.
See more. So there's a lot of people angry. Why are we putting 43 million into these people? Because they're not, there's no war going on there. They're not refugees. So why are we putting 43 million aside and having all these? England's full. There's one thing I saw.
Right.
It's not. I managed to walk down the street all the time without knocking into people.
China's pretty full.
China's pretty. Well, it's not, again, landmass.
I mean, you only used to be able to have one kid in
Well,
China.
yeah.
That's how full China was.
That's how full China
You know
was.
what I mean?
There was, I think I remember reading the thing, I think 13%, it might be less than that, of our land is actually lived on.
Yeah, but also, these are probably the same people that are complaining that we're building on brown belt and green belt land.
Yeah,
Used to be fields back in my day.
yeah.
All this used to be fields.
Well, back in someone's day, everything was just fields.
exactly, yeah.
So by that argument,
Yeah.
get out your house, knock it down, put some shrubs down. So this story begins.
Hong Kongese.
This story starts in 1655.
It's a long time ago.
It's a fair bit ago.
No, none of us remember that.
With a man called Johann Nieuwhof,
Okay.
who was a Dutch traveller.
I mean, that sounds like a Dutch name.
Right.
Johan.
Well, I read Jean as well, but I think that's just when the French write about him, they call him Jean. So if we wrote about him, we call him Jean, but his name is Johann.
Okay.
So he was Johann Nieuwhof,
Right.
and he had a banquet in 1655 with Emperor Shunzi.
Nobody really has banquets these days.
Oh, no,
do they?
yeah.
Bring banquets back.
Let's bring banquets
That's
back.
going to be our fucking campaign.
One of.
Bring
we've
banquets back.
got many.
Triple B.
We want to get to Mars.
Yeah.
We've got many.
Bring banquets back. BBB. We can do protest.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this will tie into
that
this
and fingering, but
at
carry
the
on.
end. But that and fingering.
Sorry, carry on.
So in 1655,
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, there was a Dutch traveller called Johann Nieuwhof, and he travelled to Brazil. He was there for a while, which was Portuguese owned at the time, and then he went to China,
Okay.
and he had a banquet with Emperor Shunzi, and that was the first time he had tea, and he brought tea.
Johan.
Yes,
First time he'd had tea.
he'd had tea, so he brought tea back to Europe
Okay.
and introduced tea into Europe.
Right. Good
And
man.
then- and then England got
Yeah.
a hold of tea.
Okay.
And we were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Bad man shit.
Want more of this?
Yeah.
So we started trading tea with China.
Because they've got all the tea in China.
Well, at that point, they had all the
They
tea
quite
in China.
literally had.
Literally, all the tea in China.
all the tea in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started trading with them.
Did the English decide that they invented it?
Yes. Not at that point.
Oh, okay.
I think that was later. That was when Yorkshire tea became a thing. Right. So we started drinking tea, but it's the elite who were drinking tea.
Yeah.
Not, man,
The 11s.
sweet. Yeah, it's the 11s were drinking tea.
No threes was
It was under lock and key,
Yeah.
the tea.
Right.
And then China were like, you can have it, but we want silver.
Ooh.
And we had loads of silver at the time, so we were like, sound.
We stole it all.
We really want this tea.
Yeah.
So we arranged trade where we would give China silver
Yeah.
and they would give us tea.
Did they go down the Suez Canal?
No, it wasn't a thing.
Oh, okay.
They used to go the long way around Africa.
Nightmare.
I
That's
know,
why it was so
right?
expensive.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem was after a while, we started running out of silver. And it's causing real problems.
drank that much tea
We
that we
drank
started-
that much tea.
God.
We genuinely had that much tea that we were running out of silver.
British like tea.
And we're like, fuck. But what we also had at the time was India. Because, you know, the British like to go around and put flags down.
You can't trade India,
And
can
go,
you?
no, but what India did was grow opium. Well, they grew poppies.
Oh, okay.
So English,
This is going to end badly.
being English, when
Yeah.
I know it's a bit immoral, but what we're going to do is we're going to start giving poppies to China, who banned opium in 1729, and we're going to sell them opium for silver. The silver that we've given them, we'll go to the black market, give them silver, and then go just from this port to that port, give them the silver back and get the tea.
Right. So money laundering,
So
basically.
essentially, right.
Okay, yeah.
So in 1890, there were 15 million people addicted to opium in China,
Nice.
which is insane amount of people.
Before or after we started selling
Oh,
it?
this is after.
Okay.
Because by 1800, there was 300 metric tons shipped into China. By 1840, there was 3,500 metric tons.
Quite a lot.
It's a big increase.
Again, tea's this important.
That's how important tea was to us.
Right.
That we've now got a whole country addicted to opium.
To have a cuppa.
To have a copper, so we can steal silver off them to give back the silver that we've given them. We now trade on the side to get back to trade back to them.
Okay.
Right. So China cotton onto this,
Yeah.
and go, well, we don't want fucking all our people to be drug addicted.
Which is a fair comment.
It is.
Yeah.
So they said no more, and they destroyed 20,000 barrels of opium.
Oh, I was going to say tea then. You had a heart attack.
The tea was all right,
Woo!
but they destroyed 20,000 chests of opium.
Yeah.
England go, excuse me, you can't destroy our drugs, our
Right.
illegal drugs.
That we didn't bring in.
We've just, what we didn't bring in.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You can't destroy the mysterious drugs that have turned up on British ships.
Right, so they want reprimands. They're like, we want money back for our
Drugs that we
for
didn't
drugs
sell
that-
you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The English media at the time is saying that the Chinese are savages. They're all opium addicted savages.
Brutes.
Where do they get their opium from? We don't talk about that.
That's not the argument.
That's not the argument.
The argument is they've destroyed the opium that we didn't sell them and we're not happy about it.
Absolutely. So in 1839, the first opium war started because China were like, "Go fuck yourself."
Right.
Off you fuck.
Yeah.
And England were like, no. Let's send in our fucking gunboats.
Right.
So we go down and start bombing the fuck out of them.
Because they're not buying drugs that we're not selling them officially
And
anymore.
because they're destroying the drugs that we're not officially giving to them as well.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So we win. We also set up...
Standard.
We also take over Hong Kong at that point. Now, Hong Kong at that point is a tiny little island at the bottom of China. There's like 30,000 people that live there.
Right.
It's very much... like that's half of our population in this town. So it's a very little thing going on there. We take over. We kind of come to some kind of agreement. But then we carry on giving them opium. So at this point, we just keep throwing in all this opium.
They really wanted that tea, didn't
They
they?
really did. So by 1880, there's now 6,500 metric tons of opium in the country.
Right.
So in 40 years, it's gone up 3,000 metric tons.
That's a lot
how
of
much-
fucking...
There's so
that's a lot
much
of crack.
fucking opium going
Yeah.
in. We're still getting the tea as well. But now we're also in Hong Kong.
To be fair, if they're having that much opium, there's probably a shit ton of tea getting produced as well because they're all just wired.
Right, yeah.
Just picking it. Oh, fuck. Just put it away. Put
I
it
don't,
away.
is that what opium does?
I don't know.
know. I've heard in my research, opium is kind of like what heroin is.
Oh, maybe
So
not then.
they wouldn't be picking fuck all in that
Maybe
case.
that's why then, because they was
Maybe.
all just asleep.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Possibly. Anyway,
So in 1898...
if there is any regular opium users, just let us know.
Let us know. Just
let us know.
Just knowledge
Research
of power.
purposes.
Yeah, we're not going to try it ourselves to find
No.
out. 1898, Hong Kong are like, okay, look, we have to do something. So they say, look, we're going to give you a deal where we will be able to trade with you free. We're not going to, for cheap. We're not going to bomb you anymore. We're not going to bomb us anymore because 1856 was the second Opium War.
So is this Hong Kong talking on behalf of China?
No, so China are saying this.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
So China is saying, look, let's come to an agreement. Part of their agreement was giving Britain Hong Kong for 99 years. So they leased Hong Kong to Britain officially for 99 years.
Right.
That's it.
Why?
Just because they're trying to come to an agreement. So
Because they was already there.
and they're at war. Yeah, they've already taken over the place. So they're like, fine, you can have it for 99 years. Remember that number. It's an important number.
Okay.
So the guy at the time was like, 99 years is basically forever. So Britain going, because obviously China is communist. It's a very, very, very communist country. At this point, the Industrial Revolution has happened around the world. It was happening. Capitalism has taken off. But they're getting poorer and poorer and poorer because they're a communist country.
Yeah.
So once Britain have Hong Kong, then they can start taking, because they've got a base there now. So they can start building up capitalism in Hong Kong.
Okay.
When Hong Kong starts getting more powerful,
Yeah.
they start building there. They start moving more people there.
Because England are in.
England are in.
Yeah.
Right? So they start using that as a base
Yeah.
for all trade and everything else and start building a capitalist community there. By 1993, Hong Kong is accounting for 27% of China's GDP. So their economy, Hong Kong, is equal to 27% of what China's is. They're fucking huge. But they're also coming to the end of their agreement.
The lease is nearly up.
Lease is nearly up.
Right.
So Margaret Thatcher makes an agreement
Right.
saying we will pass it over to you as
Yeah.
agreed in 1997. But we want 50, because obviously they have a one-party communist rule, whereas Britain has a democracy.
Yeah.
So that democracy was also implemented on the Chinese, on the Hong Kong people.
Right.
So they were like, but you have to honour that for 50 years. So you have 50 years transitional period before you can bring them into the whole of China.
Right.
And China's like, cool, we will do that. Because they realise 27% GDP, they're important. We'll do this as we need to do this. In the meantime, what's happened is they've realised we can't do capitalism here, but it's working really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up a special economic zone.
This is in Hong Kong.
So this is in mainland China.
Right.
There's a place called Shenzhen, which is the other side of the border of Hong Kong. So
Right.
you've got Hong Kong here, then you've got China.
Yeah.
And right on the tip of the border is Shenzhen. So they're like, we're going to use this one little fishing village with no one there, 10,000 people, and that can be used for capitalism, but
Right.
only there because we're communist. That booms.
Yeah, because that's where all the technology is,
Right.
and if you want to go and buy computer stuff now and everything, it's all there.
Right. So they go huge.
Right.
And they're like, this is doing really well. So let's just do it in Shanghai as well, and in Beijing, and in Guangzhou. So they start doing these special economic zones all over the country, but it's
Right.
still a communist country.
Okay.
By 2015, Hong Kong is only accounting for 3% of the GDP.
Because all the others are doing
Doing
so,
so
well.
well.
Yeah.
So they basically took the communist, the capitalist model. They took the blueprint of the British Empire and went, let's just do this well
In certain places.
in certain places.
So that's why in the countryside and everything, it's still communist and they're still poor
Right.
as fuck.
Absolute poverty.
But the rich cities are getting richer
Are some of the richest in the world.
because it's capitalism is
Right.
okay. Everyone else is being told what to do.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So what this did do, though, was made Hong Kong no longer necessary to honour that agreement. We don't need to honour the agreement anymore because we're worth more than they are.
Yeah.
But they're also still ours, so we want them back.
Right.
So we're never going to wait to 2047, but we're not actually going to do that.
Is that when it runs out? Is that the 50 years?
50 years
2047?
runs out in 2047, 1st of
Right.
July.
Yeah.
So what they started doing was, on the news, for example, so in China, they speak Mandarin. It's the most spoken language in the world. Whenever people say, do you speak Chinese? Chinese isn't a language.
No.
It's called Mandarin. In Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese.
Right.
So they started showing the news and all the TV shows in Mandarin only.
Okay. So they couldn't understand it.
So they have to learn Mandarin.
Yeah.
So in schools, they started teaching Mandarin. And the big thing that started all the uprising in Hong Kong was they started dictating who could run in their government. In Hong Kong's elections, they started picking the candidates.
Because until then, it had always been
A
a
democracy.
democracy. Yeah.
But
yeah.
they want someone who's pro-China to come
Right.
in because then they can do what they want. So people cotton on to that. And that was the first, I think that was 2014. 2014, they tried to seize control of the candidates. And there was a big uprising of 10,000 people in the streets, and that's when the umbrella movement started. So this was when there were protesters going up against the police and the government, and they'd use umbrellas to protect themselves. So they got the moniker, the umbrella movement.
Second page.
Second
Jesus
page.
Christ.
So the agreement was one country, two systems. When we agreed to pass it over in 1997,
Yeah.
it was there's one country being Hong Kong, but you have two systems, being the British system and the Chinese system. And then China all of a sudden are like, fuck that, we just want our system. So they built a bridge, because there's still a border there. It's still a hard border.
So effectively then, Hong Kong was Chinese,
Yeah.
part of China. It was just an island off China.
It's still, sorry, joined by the mainland, but it's like some islands off it as well.
And then the British took it over. China gave it to England, so it became part of the British Empire.
Yeah.
Then in 1997, they gave it back to China, but with rules.
But with rules.
Okay.
Which was good of us.
Yes.
Genuinely, like me being
honouring the agreement.
Honouring the agreement, give them 50 years.
Bearing in mind of how much money they was making as well,
Yeah.
which I would imagine we was lost out of our economy and it went into their economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've agreed, you have to do this, but do it honourably.
Yeah.
Give the people the chance to live their way of life, their religions, their voting structure, their education, everything has to stay in place. You have 50 years. But after 10 years, Hong Kong were like, fuck it. I mean, China were like, fuck it. So they start implementing their own. And there was a bill, basically one guy went on a holiday to Taiwan with his girlfriend and he murdered her in Taiwan, came back by himself to Hong Kong. This got found out, but there was no extradition program between the two countries. So he got away with it.
Oh, I see.
So Hong Kong agreed a thing with Taiwan to say, we're going to be able to extradite people to you. And they were like, okay, because then he can be done properly.
Taiwan is where?
An island off China.
So is it Chinese?
I think now China have taken over it.
Right, okay.
But China were also at this point like, well, we want that as well. So you have to do the same thing with us. But the problem is China don't have democracy.
No.
So if you get done for something in Hong Kong and get extradited to China,
It's game over.
well, there was bookshops where owners were disappearing because they were putting out information against China. So they just disappear. Thousands of Chinese people have disappeared because if you say anything against the government,
They can just...
blip, you're gone. You might turn up again 4 years later and go, I was wrong, I'm really sorry. Where have you been? I've just been learning more.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I know I was wrong.
In solitary confinement in some prison somewhere.
Yeah. It's fucking insane. And all of this stemmed from a dude drinking a cup of tea in 55, bringing it over to Britain, and we like tea. And now because of that, Hong Kong's at a point where they're trying to fight for their freedom. And because of part of the agreement, which was we will look after you for 50 years as well, we'll make sure this transition goes well. We've now offered them an option to come over to England if they choose, which is where the 43 million is. So we're just honouring the fact that we basically created this system where they're being fucked.
I'm with you.
So what we're doing now is
almost looking after our own to an extent.
Yeah. Well, they're still the British nationals overseas.
Because they was British nationals for 100 years.
Yeah.
Which
But
probably is what people don't
156
understand.
altogether.
So that's probably what I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I kind of like have slowly started to research it just out of my own curiosity over the past month. So 2 months ago, I had no idea about any of this and just kind of like been picking up bits of news and stuff like that. And then when I saw this thing in the news this week, 43 million people, I'm like, well, why are people so angry about it? Because I knew enough and then did the research. I'm like, it's fucking insane when you go into the fact that because we got them addicted to opium so we could have tea, now people in Hong Kong are going through, it's like Russia all of a sudden. We made an agreement 100 years ago with Russia and that ending tomorrow. And now we're going to be Russian nationals and we have to speak Russian.
And it's not their fault.
No, at all.
None of them really decided.
No. Well, they still want democracy.
Yeah. Well, if they've obviously seen that it works better,
Yeah,
they're all richer for it.
China
way of life.
Yeah. China have a thing where they there was Tiananmen Square where the guy stood in front of the tank. That all came about because people wanted democracy. They were getting sick of one party rulership and stuff like that. There's a big war. Obviously, China won amongst their own people. But they'll use examples of, so if there's a riot in America, then they'll say, look, this is what happens if you have a two-party system. This is why you don't have it. So if there's a riot here, if there's a protest here, this is what happens. So they'll use bad examples of governments being shitty to their people as reasons why two-party systems don't work.
And then shut the news down, shut the internet down, shut Facebook down.
Well, there is no Facebook in China.
So they don't know any different.
There is no YouTube in China.
It's mental.
It's
the biggest
fucking
fucking
insane.
market on the planet.
But the worst thing is going forward from this, there's a thing called BRI, which is the Belt and Road Initiative. So there used to be a thing called the Ancient Silk Road.
Yes,
It's been there since like 200 BC, and that was how they used to trade back in the day.
Yeah.
And they're now trying to revive that.
Yep.
So they're building roads, building train lines, and building ports so they can start shipping again. Because America's doing this whole America first thing currently. We don't want to export and import. We want to be able to create our own things in this country. And a lot of other countries are starting to do the same thing. We have the same thing with Brexit. Let's try and keep Britain being British. So China is an opportunity and a gap in the market. If you're looking after each other and only yourselves, then we can provide the shit to the world that the world needs that you're now no longer doing. So they've started building ports, started building roads, started building train lines. But what they're doing is they're bringing it, of the top 10 construction companies in the world, 7 of them are Chinese.
And they're building stuff all around the world, aren't they?
All around the
free.
world. For free.
Yeah.
Or they're paying them. So they gave Sri Lanka 1.5 billion to build a port, knowing Sri Lanka wouldn't be able to pay them back. So they built this port, it's brought in all these jobs, it's building up an economy there. It's almost like a Shenzhen almost. People start flocking there because of all the jobs, all the money. And then when they couldn't open it, because they couldn't pay them back, they went, okay, what we'll do is we'll set up a lease. Guess how many years that lease is for?
Is it 99 years?
It's 99 years.
Is it really? Fuck.
And there's places in Pakistan, in Iraq,
Why 99?
in Yemen. I think because in 99 years, if you think that's essentially 3 generations.
Why not 100?
I guess 100's too rounded off.
Right.
99 years is just under.
You know, leases on a house are 99 years
Are
as
they?
well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
If you lease the ground, it's 49 years or 99 years.
There must be a reason. I
don't
guess
know why.
it might be the same thing as why something's $1.99 rather than £2. Just sounds less,
Possibly.
like psychologically. But I think the reason they're doing 99 years is because obviously I can see what happened with Hong Kong. Hong Kong had 330,000 people on there. It was nothing. It was just islands. And then it became one of the wealthiest, but it's still now the most expensive place in the world to live. Hong Kong
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. There's people live in car park spaced rooms because it's so expensive to live there. Because their economy boosted because of it. So if China now start giving people, here's a port, that's yours now. So you're now going to build an economy up, but now you're in their debt. So for 100 years now, you can just be like, well, we're free. China have given us this thing where for 100 years, 99 years, we can build up our economy. And at the end of it, they'll be like, well, you haven't paid us back. So that's ours now.
Do you think?
That's absolutely what's going to happen. It's called, so the idea of it is called the string of pearl theory. Because they're building things like a string of pearls across the globe. And when they can't pay them back, if they can pay them back, then fine, they've been paid back, but they've still got now a port where they can do industry, they can do trade and stuff like that. If you can't pay them back, then you're in their debt. And you don't want to be in China's debt.
And then they'll own
Everything.
a shit ton of stuff all around the world. That's crazy.
But it's done it in a way where in the past, we'd go in, we'd fight, we'd war, we'd put a flag in. They're doing it through economy now.
They're playing the long game.
They're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Because they've seen how effective it can be with Hong Kong and now bringing that across everywhere else. And it's fucking insane.
And this is why Donald didn't like China.
Yeah. But apparently the whole thing with us and Hong Kong now offering the 43 million we've agreed to, I read between 100,000 and 300,000 Hong Kong nationals come over. Beijing aren't happy about it because they feel like we're going against the agreement, which all we're doing is honouring the agreement.
Of looking after them for 50 years?
For 50 years, so
Well,
2047.
China have gone against the agreement, if anything.
Completely. They've built a bridge, because there's still a hard border there. Macau is a country just across the water, still mainland China, that was owned by the Portuguese. Same kind of thing that happened with Hong Kong, basically, with the British. But because that's the same thing, it's, what was the full name? It's Macau Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. That's what Macau is classed as. It's got its own flag.
Imagine that in Chinese. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So they built a bridge, the longest sea-covering bridge in the world. It's 34 miles
Fucking hell, right.
from Macau to Hong Kong, because now there's a hard connection there. So because the
Right.
border's still 2 hours, you still have to go through with the passport, even if you're Chinese. But now you can just drive in. So rather than waiting till 2047, they're like, fuck it, just build a road.
So, I mean, how hard can it be?
So they spent millions, billions on this fucking bridge just to connect it to mainland. But because they've done it from Macau, it's not going against the agreement because it's not from mainland China. It's from Macau. It's different,
Which is part of China.
which is part of China.
Sneaky,
Fucking insane.
sneaky Chinese,
Yeah.
isn't they?
And the whole thing is at the minute, they're regulating their own system. So with lots of countries, like here, we have health and safety and stuff like that. So they're going to countries that don't, or who are authoritarian governments or militia-run regions or corrupt countries.
So one guy can make the decision.
Yeah.
And he signs the contract,
and also,
and that's it.
Part of the agreement is we'll send in Chinese workers. So you have to pay Chinese workers to do it as well.
So then all that money comes back because they'll force them to
absolutely
send money back.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And again, the whole point of this is because the British like tea.
This is why everyone should learn Mandarin.
You're gonna need to,
because I don't think there's going to be much that you're not going to be able to do soon.
Yeah.
Probably not in our generation.
Probably not in our generation, but definitely. Well, I think in the next 20 years, apparently the next 10 years, Asia will overtake Europe and America in wealth from economy, mainly just because of India and China. And then the next 20 years, China will overtake America.
There's a lot of big companies in the UK as well that are now Chinese owned. And a lot of buildings.
Yeah.
Loads. A lot of certain big buildings that are built, like you've just said, they'll build them. Oh, yeah, we'll help you out. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And a lot of the football stadiums, isn't Tottenham something to do with?
I'm not sure. West Brom is. They're owned by China now. Not China, but a Chinese company.
I think there's a few. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember who owns Tottenham. I think isn't it Daniel Levy?
Places like Wembley and stuff like that are built
There's loads,
and owned by Chinese.
Because they're the world's factory. That's what China are. That's what China became. Basically, they saw what happened in Hong Kong and went, we need in on that. So we'll do it here. So they created these special regions to build up their economy while still having communism, while still having a single party leader and dynasties and stuff like that.
So if they're going into dictatorship countries, it's literally one guy speaking to another guy and going, listen, I'll build you an hospital. Be $1 billion. Don't worry about it. We'll sort it.
Yeah.
Sign the contract, 99 years, you're good. And the guy's gone, sound?
Yeah.
There's no government, there's no debate,
what
nothing.
What they'll do initially is, look, we can increase, because I think Pakistan's GDP has gone up because of it. They built one in Pakistan, and where it was in Pakistan benefited the road and the sea, because it was on the coast.
Right.
So we're going to build this here. It will help your economy. I think it was 13 billion. Either it brought in or it cost. I can't remember which one it was now. But obviously Pakistan they're like, we'll lend it you. Don't worry, it won't cost you anything. We'll do it. You just pay us back. But if they can't pay them back, that's when they go in with a 99-year lease.
China done that to Pakistan?
Yeah. That's part of the string of pearls. So they're just doing them all along. There's one in Kenya. There's one in Madagascar, I think. So all along, they're just putting these. I'll put it on screen. There's lots of maps for this, which thanks to Vox, because I'm stealing them off you. There's a new channel.
Okay.
And they're just placing them all around strategically, so ocean-wise and inland, to be able to feed the rest of the world, essentially.
Because if you watch Top Gear and stuff like that, they mention it a few times.
Yeah.
On Top Gear, they're like, because they'll be in the middle of nowhere and there'll be this super smooth, completely empty motorway or highway, and they're like, thanks to the Chinese, this is it. And it doesn't even register.
No. You don't think of why they're doing it.
No, exactly.
But they're not doing it for now. They're doing it for the future.
Yeah. Where they can literally just go, oh,
everything's already in.
by the way, you still owe us for that.
Yeah.
So that's us now.
Yeah.
That's now. That's a toll road now. So you've all got to pay to use that road now. And then they're just going to get richer and richer and richer and richer.
Again, the thing is, with the countries, especially the poor countries, like they're doing a thing from India to China through the Himalayas. So they're building roads now through the Himalayas, which is the biggest mountain range in the world. And there's no way to get through them currently. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just build roads through there.
Because it's just unlimited funds.
Yeah, so they can put roads
slave
through
labour.
there. Yeah, they can put roads through there. Well, it is slave labour, but they're bringing their people to build roads.
That's what I mean. There's no health and safety. There's no unions. There's none of that shit. And that's the thing. So if people we can't do that, we haven't got our guidelines say we can't. Well, we'll just use our workers. And then it's us.
We'll use our guidelines. It's on our head. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then you can just pay us back afterwards. Fuck. Oh, we can't afford to pay you back. Oh, okay then. Well, how about instead, for 99 years, this is all ours.
That's crazy. So they're going to have all these little pockets.
So they're like, yeah,
cash.
cool, we'll sign it for 99 years. But all of their people, so in Sri Lanka, for example, their people are boosting the economy, not Chinese people.
No.
For 99 years, they're going to keep putting all that money in.
And I imagine whoever signs that contract's going to be like, 99 years?
I'm not going to be alive.
I'm not going to be around then.
That was what happened initially. The guy who signed it was like 99 years is practically forever. But it's not. It's 99 years.
Fuck. I wonder why it is 99 years. There must be a reason.
I think it is because it's enough to be able to build 3 generations of economy there. But the people who initially did it are all dead.
And it doesn't sound...
It's like...
If you said 150, you'd be, oh no, that's too long.
But if I say to you, so this happened in 1898, that could happen in 1698. In your head, it makes no fucking difference.
No.
All you know is it wasn't me who did it. It wasn't my parents who did it. So fuck it.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
not on my
It
head.
was generations ago.
Yeah.
That was an archaic decision they made. We're much more advanced now. We wouldn't agree to that kind of thing. So in 99 years, it'll be the same kind of thing. And they'll be like, why did we sign this 99 years ago? Oh, well, we're here now anyway.
That's mental.
It's fucking insane. And again, every time you drink a cup of tea, just remember, you made China a superpower. Not you, but
I think Hong Kong now, after watching a film that I watched at the weekend, it's probably a good idea that we haven't got Hong Kong anymore because it's fucking destroyed.
Godzilla versus King Kong.
Godzilla versus King Kong absolutely destroyed that town.
It really fucking
There was
did.
nothing left of it.
It was almost like they were trying to get like, oh, you missed the building.
It was right.
Are we doing a spoiler review or
So-
non-spoiler review?
So, if you haven't seen the film, I'm pretty sure you know what it's about, but we are going to talk about Godzilla versus
King
King
Kong.
Kong.
Are you Team Godzilla or Team Kong?
Right, so we on the podcast, as you may know, if you don't know, you're new to this. We have an
Ongoing argument.
ongoing argument / debate. Who would win in a fight? A theoretical fight. No one has to get hurt. Who would win in a theoretical fight between a bear and a gorilla? You are Team
Gorilla.
I am Team Bear. So when I seen Godzilla versus
I
King
just want
Kong,
to say it's worth going back to that episode. I'll put a link and a timestamp for when that part of the podcast happened because it was a fucking hilarious
if you
conversation.
choose a gorilla, you will always be wrong
No, you
because
won't.
there is scientific proof to state that a bear will always win.
So far,
But
just because Neil deGrasse Tyson said it, it doesn't mean it's
no, there's actual
I
realistic.
think it's 5-2 now because Nick Hamilton
Yeah, because people are
said
idiots.
gorilla.
Idiot.
Johnny Ward said gorilla.
Idiot.
Well travelled.
Idiot.
Pritchard said gorilla.
Idiot.
The two Monster Girls said gorilla.
Idiots.
And Andy Harris,
He said bear.
he said bear.
Clever man. That's
So
why.
with me and with you, it's 6-2.
Who's the millionaire out of all them?
I don't know.
Andy Harris.
Is he?
Clever man.
No, Johnny Ward is as well. Multi, in fact, he's got two.
Yeah, he hasn't got a
He's two of
McLaren
them.
720 though, has he?
I don't know what he's got.
Anyway,
He's a humble man. He
So-
doesn't need one.
so when this happened, I knew what was coming. It was just going to be more arguments to bolster his reasoning as to why.
I watched it first and I said to him, you need to watch this because in my head, I was like, well, it's not
In your head, it was,
Godzilla versus Big Ben.
it was an
the bear.
extension of
That
a
argument.
gorilla versus
Bear argument.
a bear.
Yes.
Because you just fucking transferred Godzilla to a bear.
In my head.
But a bear would kill Godzilla and King Kong.
What?
Right?
Based on what?
If you had a bear that was a titan that was the same size as Godzilla and
Godzilla,
King Kong,
yeah.
it would destroy the whole of China, not just Hong Kong, the whole of China.
Based on what?
Because it's fucking alpha male, right? I made notes. Right? I made notes.
Okay, again, at this point, are we doing a spoiler conversation?
I mean, we've talked about it enough now. Spoiler alert. If you don't
Spoiler
want to
alert.
know what happens
Okay.
in the film, we are going to talk about bits of the film. I'll be honest, it doesn't ruin any of the
It
film.
does, I mean, it's not like a Shawshank. Like, it's going to be all right.
It's a film about two pretend monsters. I mean, it's only
Wait,
going to.
what?
It's only going to get.
They're not real.
It's only going to get as good as it's ever going to get.
I'm shocked.
So,
Warm in here. I don't like change.
King Kong. They humanised him in the film, right, to make you want him to win more.
He had empathy, he had sympathy.
Right?
He had sad eyes, he got cold, he
He
shivered,
woke up in the morning,
scratched his ass.
scratches his arse. Sun was in his eyes. He had a shower in a waterfall.
Yes, he did.
Right? You were already like, oh, he's just like a big human.
Just like me.
It's just that's what I do, right? Bullshit, right?
Gorilla scratched her ass.
He was bigger than Godzilla, right? Which automatically means that you assume that he's going to win. He's bigger.
Yeah, but Godzilla's got like fucking nuclear.
Let me
rape.
get to my points, right?
I'll let you talk.
King Kong has feelings, right? Pussy hole. He let the humans put the handcuffs on him, right? None of this is boding well for who's going to win in an argument. Godzilla didn't have handcuffs on. They
was-
couldn't even contain Godzilla,
Didn't
right?
That was because of the girl, though.
So, no, that's not the point, right? Godzilla, he swims for a start. You put King Kong in the sea, nearly drowned, right?
Yeah.
He's already better. Godzilla swam head first through a Navy warship.
Were you making these notes as you were watching the
yes,
film? Okay.
like it was made out of Lego.
No, he did.
Godzilla threw a tree at a fucking roof and went, oh, I can't get out there. King Kong did, sorry.
Yeah.
Threw a tree at a thing and went, oh.
Turn it into a spear.
And that was it. Just went, fine, okay, well, you've put this big thing around me, fine, whatever. Godzilla, you know how King Kong cares and he has empathy for people?
One girl, really.
Yeah. Godzilla doesn't give no fucks.
Apparently, Godzilla does give fucks.
At the time of me watching this film, comparing the two,
Okay.
didn't care.
True. Aesthetically,
Previous films aside.
Yeah, okay, if we only talk about this film,
Previous films aside,
I haven't seen the other one anyway.
neither have I.
Okay.
So apparently he does like humans.
Yeah, apparently.
But he doesn't care.
No,
right?
he doesn't. He's very much one man agenda.
And even
Godzilla agenda.
if King Kong and Godzilla was completely even on every level, strength, size, agility, everything, Godzilla breathes radioactive nuclear fucking fire. King Kong is never going to win. Not in a million years. You could make King Kong 5 times the size of Godzilla and he would still lose. Why? Because he doesn't have radioactive breath. That was proven because Godzilla used said radioactive breath to breathe a hole to the center of the earth. The center of the earth. All the way down.
That literally happens in the film.
All the way
that
down.
literally happens.
And then just looked through the hole.
And you can see each other as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How did King Kong get to the center of the earth? Through a hole that the humans had dug.
Yeah.
He didn't dig his way down.
No.
He didn't scream at the earth.
No.
He didn't breathe any fire.
No.
King Kong's a pussy.
I mean, all I will ask.
What I will have, King Kong on his side, I did admire his knowledge of first aid. I did admire that because he was aware enough that he dislocated his shoulder
And you
and he knew how to put it back in.
like Riggs in Lethal Weapon,
That's what I'm
just smacked
saying.
it into a building.
I'm like, this guy grew up in a forest, but he obviously paid attention on the first
Yeah,
aid
yeah.
course.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
got my shoulder's a bit desiccated. Ugh, and a big
Back in.
skyscraper. Oh, we're good to go.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
that Godzilla?
Yeah.
And then he put him in, he put Godzilla in a headlock. I was like, what the fuck? Honestly, I
wanna
have
ask, though,
so
going back-
many issues with that film.
Going back to your initial point,
Oh.
how, if he has nuclear radioactive fucking fire breath, is a bear going to beat him?
Because a bear is a beast.
That's not your argument. No. How is he going to beat nuclear radioactive fire?
Because when King Kong punches him,
Yes.
like it's WWF,
Yes.
right? Not the one Prince Philip done. Godzilla just goes,
That's my favourite part of this podcast.
he just goes, oh. That's it.
He had a bit of spit will come out as well.
If a bear hit him,
Yeah.
it would snap his head off.
No, what?
Yes, it was.
Based on what?
I sent you a video the other day on Instagram
The moose.
of a bear
Yeah.
dragging a fully grown adult moose
Injured.
off the side of the road
An injured
with
moose.
his teeth.
Yes.
With his teeth. That's just pure power and strength.
Do you think the moose knew what was going on?
I don't think the moose knew it was game over. That's why he was
that's what I'm
wobbling.
asking.
He looked at the corner of his eye and went, fuck.
Do you think he was like, he's trying to save me? Or do you think he's like, I'm lunch now? That's it.
He's like, fuck,
It's over.
Yogi's coming.
Yogi.
Game over. Did you see the strength of that bear?
Yeah.
A gorilla wouldn't have done that.
Well, it would have beat the shit out.
My
He'd
first,
have picked him up, thrown him over his shoulder.
before I'd even watched the film.
And because of his medical training.
Yeah, that's true. He could have bandaged
He'd
it
have
up.
bandaged him up.
Tourniquet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is true. Before I even watched the film, you said to me, what did you say?
I can't remember.
You said to me, watch it and we'll discuss it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll bring in, I says,
Bear versus gorilla.
before you even finish this conversation, I will say to you now, if King Kong was a real monkey, he would spend the whole film with his finger up his arse or his finger up someone else's arse, scratching it. And you said to me, well, actually, the first scene you see him is scratching his arse. And I was like, if that was real, that's all that monkey would do. The world could be burning around it, and that gorilla would sit there and go, oh, yeah, look, that's on fire.
You know what the worst thing was?
Anyway, what's up my arse? And that's all it would do.
When I was watching that film, there's a part in it, again, spoilers are out there, you know now. The world is hollow in the middle.
I didn't get that either.
I didn't get that. But he's in the hollow earth, and he realizes there's two land masses, essentially, one on top of the other. You know when he jumps from one gravity to the other? I was like, that's a bit far-fetched. Out of everything that happened in that movie, that was the bit where my brain went, I don't know about that.
Don't think that would happen.
I don't think that would
and also,
happen.
why didn't he flip round?
Yeah.
Immediately, as soon as he got
Yeah.
round, why didn't he flip round?
Yeah. I mean, the film, I want to say as a whole, as a review of the film, it's absolute fucking trash.
Where did Hollow Earth come from? Is that in previous films?
I think it's in the Godzilla film, which I haven't seen.
Because I've seen the
I've
King...
seen Skull Island.
Yeah, the King Kong ones are all just on an island.
Yeah, I've seen that one, but I haven't seen... I hate Godzilla as a principle. It's fucking ridiculous.
I stayed in the Godzilla hotel in Japan.
Oh, did you?
His head was at the front of the hotel, and every couple of hours he would come alive, and there would be smoke come out of his nose, and he would make roaring noises. That's...
I don't know if I'm really impressed by that or just like...
I don't know. It was one of them.
Was it good?
It was all right. It rained a lot. When I went, my friend Adam Shuttleworth, who doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can call him whatever the fuck I like, a good friend. Because I'm 6'4",
Yeah.
he said, and obviously Japanese are quite renowned for being quite short.
Quite small, yeah.
He said, if you walk down the street and they all start shouting, Godzilla, Godzilla, I won't be surprised.
Oh, really? Did they?
That never happened.
Oh, okay.
But then when I got there and then realised where I was staying, and it was the Godzilla hotel, I was like, oh.
Oh, right, okay.
That makes a lot of sense now. But yeah, the whole film, it just...
My argument is, if bears are better than gorillas, then why wasn't King Kong made as a bear?
Because he's not human-like.
Bears aren't.
No.
Bears. He saved a fucking moose on the side of the road.
No, he ate the moose.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Of course he did.
No, he didn't. The video is bear saves moose.
Yeah, but do you really think that bear was saving the moose?
Yeah.
No.
Don't tell me that. I honestly,
It was effectively a free meal.
I genuinely watched that video and went,
oh my God.
do you think he ate the moose?
Of course he ate the fucking moose.
Don't tell me that.
It's a fucking wild animal. Of course he ate the moose.
I'm genuinely really sad now.
He wouldn't have. Why would he save an injured moose? What's he going to do? Take it to the hospital?
Well,
He's not King Kong. The bear's got no first aid training. Of course he ate the moose. He was like, fuck yeah, Deliveroo.
I'm fucking heartbroken.
Basically, it was a...
Fuck bears.
It was a delivered meal. He was like, oh, buzzing, I've got a massive moose.
I'm going to research this more. I'm going to put on screen now what happened to that moose. Because people are filming it.
I'm telling you now, you don't have to watch. It got ate to fuck by the big alpha male bear. That's what happened.
Do you think?
100%.
I'm really sad now.
Bears eat shit. Gorillas eat their own ass.
But he saved it.
No, he didn't.
Why
He
put it out?
pulled
Why not just eat it there?
Because he didn't want to eat it in front of people. He's not an animal.
I mean, he literally is an animal. He's
not a savage.
He literally is an animal.
He's not a savage beast. I mean, he is that.
He's also that.
But he didn't. He probably taken it back to Mrs. Bear and the bear children. He's not greedy. You know what I mean? He was like, well,
He was feeding the family. I'm not as bad about it.
I'm 100% certain
That moose was as bigger than him.
No, it was twice the size of it. That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
huge.
And he dragged it with his teeth.
I mean, it was injured.
Didn't pull it with his hands.
No. Pause.
Just went-
Pause. He hasn't got hands.
He dragged it all the way back home.
He doesn't wear driving gloves.
You don't know.
Well, depends what he's driving.
He pulled that moose all the way back
No, he didn't.
to Bear headquarters.
What if that was like 4 miles away? You're telling me he pulled it with his teeth for 4 miles?
It's a free meal.
No chance.
100%.
He killed it. If that happened...
Yeah.
So I got over this really quickly now. Fuck you, Moose. Right? Moose is dead. Let's move on. If he killed that moose there, then what he did was killed it, ate a bit, had a bit of a rest, like Baloo.
You right?
Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then went back to his family, went, come with me. I got a meal for you. Take me out for dinner tonight. And then went there.
Roadside cafe.
Roadside cafe.
Yeah.
And then there's no way he dragged that dead moose the whole way home. He fully took his family out for a meal.
You
instead.
understand food in the animal kingdom, right?
Yeah.
If that took him 3 days to drag back, he would have dragged that back.
I mean,
so he could eat it
the
all.
one benefit of it is if he gets hungry, whilst dragging it back.
You know what I mean?
Just have another chomp out.
It's like road nuggets. It's the same
It's
thing.
road nuggets.
You just have a little nibble, carry on.
Take the leg off. Would you have the best bits first before you get home? So your missus is like, oh, great, I love me some moose leg. Oh, about the legs.
The car knocked them off.
Yeah, they weren't there.
I know.
But the bones are still there. Yeah, just took the flesh straight off them.
I think you need to stop being a vegan
I'm not a vegan.
and understand that animals are a bit crazy and a bit wild and they eat each other.
I wouldn't say they're crazy. They're just
They're animals.
they're animals. But so are we.
It's a rough world out there.
It's a horrendous world out there. That's China.
That moose.
Or Hong Kong.
That moose thought... There's another video. I don't know if you've ever seen it, right?
If you haven't sent it to me, I haven't seen it.
It's a dog,
Oh, okay.
like Scarlet.
Fighting a bear.
It's a husky, it's a husky cross, and it's on like a docks, and there's a fish on the side of the docks, out of water, and the fish is flapping around, right? And there's a puddle of water on the floor.
Okay.
And the dog is like
nudging it.
He's flicking the water over the fish.
Why not just fish to...
And everyone's going, oh, look, the dog's trying to save the fish. No. Scarlett does that.
He's seasoning it.
When I give her some food and she doesn't want to eat it yet, she will nudge the carpet as if it was dirt and that she's
hiding it from other animals.
She's burying it, but her bury usually consists of down the back of the sofa. But she does the same thing. She'll carry it on the sofa, she'll push it down the back, and then she'll do that, like push her nose as if she's burying it with something. And that dog was doing that to that fish with the water, and everyone that doesn't understand dogs is going, oh, like you did with the moose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ever so nice of that bear to save that moose. Why would that bear save that moose?
Have you seen...
That bear does not give one fuck.
You know why? Because, have you seen The Jungle Book?
It's not real.
Have you seen The Jungle Book?
It's not real.
I don't believe that for a second. Right, in The Jungle Book, there's a thing where Bagheera, the panther, Bagheera, he's teaching Mowgli about the jungle. I'm not sure why all these animals are in the jungle, but there we go. And the elephants walk past and they bow out of respect.
They don't do that either.
They don't do that?
No. This is the problem, right? This is why people, when you say gorilla or bear, they always choose gorilla.
No,
because
go on.
Traditionally, name me a bear in popular culture, right?
Baloo.
Soft, fun, happy. Name me another one.
There was that one when I was a kid.
Yogi Bear.
But no, that Big Ben was a thing. He was on TV. He roared and everyone went out.
It's not the 60s.
Do you know what I'm about though?
No, but
what was his name?
Baloo.
Yeah.
Yogi Bear.
There's the one in
Revenant.
There's the one in The Revenant that Leonardo DiCaprio has a cuddle with.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
But they're all soft, friendly, cuddly characters.
Okay.
Name me a gorilla.
An actual gorilla.
No, in the films or
King
history.
Kong.
King Kong, Planet of the Apes. They're all vicious beasts.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
it's drummed into you to think that bears are soft and cuddly.
Donkey Kong. Not Donkey Kong. What was it called? Was it called Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a gorilla? You smashed the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's King Kong, basically.
Yeah.
But again,
called Donkey.
angry.
He was angry.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
So people, and then...
You rarely see a chilled out gorilla.
No, because gorillas genuinely are. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They are angry as well, though.
Not really.
I mean, how many gorillas
They
have you
just
met?
make a lot of noise.
So do bears.
Yeah, and then they eat you.
Yeah.
A gorilla doesn't. It makes a lot of noise and walks
That's
off.
because they're vegetarians.
If you ever go into the woods...
I don't know enough about either of these animals, to be fair with you.
You'll be in for a big surprise, right?
I've heard that.
If you go into the woods or the jungle or whatever, and somebody says, if you see a
They're
bear...
very different. They're very different animals.
If you
go
see a
into
bear-
the woods or the jungle...
if you see a bear, what do people say to do?
It depends on the bear.
Look down, don't give eye
No,
contact.
it depends on the bear. One of them you play dead.
Yeah,
One of them you stand still.
right. And what do they say to do to a gorilla? Make a load of noise, go, I'm scary, and it runs off. They don't say, do that to a bear.
I've never heard a gorilla argument, to be fair.
They don't say, if you see a gorilla, don't look in its
I've
eyes.
never heard a sentence start, if you see a gorilla.
Well, you've not watched enough nature programs. This is why you will always lose this conversation. Because you just don't care enough as much as I do about this subject.
You did the research.
If somebody says to you, if you go out and you see a bear, you've just said play dead or don't move and let it do what it wants
Play
to do.
dead, 'cause it's
Don't
like, well-
antagonise it.
But is it play dead or no? I think one of them is make a lot of noise.
If you see a gorilla,
you clap. That's what you do.
If you see a gorilla, it just says make a lot of noise and it runs off.
That's what you do. So one of them is play dead and one of them is
In
clap.
fact, I don't even think people warn you if you see a gorilla because they're not particularly dangerous.
They're only what's the word when you like protect your habitat? They're
young.
no, they look after their territory. They're territorial.
Yeah, but they just make a lot of noise. They don't
Yeah, but no,
attack you.
again, with bears, so there goes your argument. You either lie down or you clap. That's what you do.
Because if you do anything else, it'll rip your face off.
So, right. So you're saying if you see a gorilla, you make noise. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah, and it runs off.
All you have to do to a bear is give a round of applause and they'll go, oh, sorry, mate. You're having a fucking...
Take a bow.
Mate, they're having a fucking great walk. I don't want to...
No, you're like, you're fucking magnificent.
No.
And the bear goes, do you know what?
That bear...
Flattery will get you everywhere.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That bear, right, is there and he's like, hang on, can you hear some people? And his missus is like, yeah, go and get some fucking food for me because you ate all that fucking moose last week. This time I want first.
Still pissed off about their legs.
I want first pickings. And he's like, fine, okay. So he goes out and he's looking around. He's like, oh, I can hear them over there. So he's going, and then he hears someone go, oh, they're having a good time. I'm going to leave them to it. And he'll come back. And his missus is like, where's the food? They're having a party. I don't want to
enjoying themselves.
I don't want to interrupt
Don't want
them.
to get involved.
Or,
We're going to go and raid this bin instead.
or he goes over there and they lay down because they're playing dead. And he's like, oh, he's having a nap.
And it was already dead. I left him there.
I don't want to disturb him. He's having a nap.
It was already dead.
So that's how vicious bears are.
Vicious bears.
You can either fucking give them a round of applause or lie down and they'll go, oh, sorry, mate.
I'm telling you now.
Sorry, mate. Didn't mean to disturb you.
There's multiple videos on this argument on YouTube.
The only way we can solve this is if we get a gorilla and a bear to fight each other.
But there's not. You just watch the YouTube video.
There's not one in existence
Yes, there is.
of a gorilla and a bear fighting.
No, not fighting. But why the gorilla would always lose compared to a bear?
I feel like, and I'm sorry, I know we have some vegans who watch. I think we need to have a gorilla and a bear fight each other.
They're very different areas of animals. But there is science by people that are way more fucking educated in this subject than we are, that have done the argument for both, and a bear wins every time.
I don't buy it.
I'm going to send you the video.
Send it to me, I'll disagree.
It's like 9 minutes long.
Oh, I'm not watching a 9-minute video.
Yeah, but no, not
I'm
if you're going to
joking.
pretend that you're wrong. You know what I mean? Telling you now.
I think the thing is, like, because the teeth arguments, because they've both got sharp teeth, the only thing that a bear has is claws.
And strength.
Gorilla's just fucking strong.
Agility. Yeah, but not compared, not compared to a bear.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
I think the bite strength of a bear, I think that's the only thing a gorilla wins on, is the pressure of its
That's all
bite.
you need.
Yeah, but it's not going to get that close.
He's got longer arms.
So
So he's
do you know
got...
bears can run 30 miles an hour?
You can't if you've been knocked out. You saw that punch on Godzilla.
Yeah. Godzilla went, oh.
Yeah, but Godzilla's fucking not normal, is he? He's the exception.
No.
And who won? Who won that film versus all the fucking little animals and the hollowed earth bit? Godzilla, the robot Godzilla. Yes, there's a robot Godzilla.
I mean, they both lived.
Who won?
No one won.
Who won?
Godzilla and King Kong.
You know who won? Who won?
Godzilla let King Kong live.
Who's holding the head at the end?
No. Godzilla stood on King Kong's chest, looked at him and went, "You're shit," and walked off.
No, looked at him and went, I like you.
No, yeah, looked at him and went, "You're not worth killing."
You're lovely, you
Walked
are.
off.
Well, he left.
Then
he
Robot
left him to
Godzilla
die.
turned up.
Yeah, but it's because he's got nuclear fucking...
And then the little girl had to tell King Kong, "Be nice. He's your friend."
Yeah.
And King Kong went,
Okay. Okay.
"Okay.
Okay.
I'll go and help him if I must." And
Okay.
off he went like an insolent child and helped Godzilla.
Popped his shoulder back in first.
Popped his shoulder back in,
Got his-
helped Godzilla,
Got his axe.
and then give him a nod. And the other one give him a nod.
I wish how all of this could be like you could watch it and go, no, that didn't happen. He literally popped his shoulder back in, got his axe.
This is all
all
true.
of these things genuinely happen in this movie.
Basically, it's, if you break it down, it's a big human.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Versus a monster.
No. No.
Because King Kong is humanized to the
He's
max.
humanized, but
Yeah.
he's still a fucking gorilla.
Yeah, but he's basically a human.
And he's like a 50-foot tall gorilla as
He
well.
listens to a little girl. He wears he uses an axe.
He doesn't go to fucking Sainsbury's and do his weekly shopping.
He would if that girl told him to.
Probably.
This is another thing, right? She said, "Why is he restrained?" to that girl on the boat. And the girl said, "Without the restraints, he would be tearing the boat apart." Right? She said that word. And I'm like, but how did you get him on the boat? And in the restraints in the first
He was
place?
sedated.
Yeah, but he then wasn't.
Yeah, but he
Because
was...
all of a sudden, he was 88% sedated, and they went, "Oh, maybe you should back off. We need him." And she went, No. If we didn't sedate him, he'd be ripping the boat apart.
So that's how they got chains on him. He was sedated.
And then, all of a sudden, the boat's under attack. They go, "Let him go." And he's perfectly fine. Doesn't rip the boat apart. Passes out on the boat.
That's because... Yeah, is that
And again, Godzilla let
Is
him
that after
go.
the fight? Is that after the fight?
Yeah.
He's exhausted. He just fought fucking
And Godzilla
Godzilla.
looked at him and went, "He's fucked. I've won." And let him go again.
He had a swim. No, he played dead, remember? They turned all the machines off.
Godzilla, without even being a bear, Godzilla owned him twice.
So you think Godzilla versus the bear, or bears win him?
I think so. A Titan bear. Fuck yeah.
Over a Titan gorilla.
The only thing that
versus Godzilla.
it tips the balance is the radioactive fire.
I mean, that's a big.
That's the only thing.
That part where he's shooting it and he's like just parkouring over the buildings and stuff. It's fucking. It's the dumbest movie. It's literally the dumbest fucking movie.
The whole. I don't see the point of.
Visually, it's phenomenal. It's such a visually.
It looks good.
It's and the way they get the size and the context of everything in it, like that bit where he falls off the boat and the camera goes underwater as well.
You don't at any point you don't look at it and go, well, that doesn't look real.
Yeah, no, not at any point. Not one.
The only thing that isn't real is
it's
all of the story.
It's everything that happens in the entire movie.
All of the storyline is bullshit, but the actual. If you just ignore that
everything
and watch the film.
If you ignore everything that happens in the film and just enjoy the film.
As an overall, as a 5-star Amazon review, how many stars do you give it?
Well, I'd never give an Amazon review to anything for a start. But if I was giving it a review out of 5, I'd give it a 2.
Really?
Yeah, 3. 3's halfway. I'd give it 3.
I think I'd give it 2 for the probably 3. 2 for the storyline, then visually brings it up.
Storyline at 0. I'm giving it 3 for visuals and action.
Maybe it's a 1 then, and then the visuals bring it up to a 3.
Yeah. Even 3 out of 5.
And there's that really hot bird in it. Who's the daughter? The Walter Guy's daughter.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No,
I was gonna say she's like 12.
No, the other girl.
The bad guy.
The bad guy girl. Oh,
the bad guy girl.
She's hot.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she gets squashed. King Kong
pretty,
squashes her.
But
King Kong squashes her. And they jump started him. You know, like in Casualty when they get the
no
the thing, and then they go clear.
The defibrillator.
But it's an anti-gravity ship, and they just park it on his fucking chest and go, okay, turn it on, and he goes, "Oh, I'm awake now."
I know. Honestly, the thing is, you probably if you weren't planning on watching it. And you've listened to this.
Still watch it.
Honestly. And if you were planning on watching it and you stuck with us and we've ruined it for you, I'm sorry. But watch it anyway.
It's
no matter what we tell you, you'll find something more ridiculous.
It is a good film. It's a good film because it's not Sharknado bad.
No. Like
it's still a Hollywood movie. And I bet it's phenomenal in the cinema.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I wish I watched it in the cinema.
I bet it'd be incredible at the cinema.
I wouldn't have watched it in the cinema.
But I wouldn't pay £15
to
watch it in the cinema.
Not at all.
That's the thing.
You know what? We should start doing a when the cinemas open again.
Film reviews.
We'll get the fucking Odeon premiere thing and we'll do a film review a week.
I'm down for that.
Not a part of the overall podcast. We'll do a separate.
I'm down for that.
All right, sound.
We can do movie night together.
I'd like that.
And then we'll do we'll do that. We need for the movies to open again.
Yeah,
movies or cinema.
I say cinema. There are people who say the movies. There are people who say the pictures.
Yeah, my dad.
Does he? Remember the pictures?
Yeah. Right. We can do an Arch and the Devil movie review.
I'm down for that.
But are we going to do it like the week after it comes out? Or the day after it comes out? I reckon we do it the day after.
We could do a non-spoiler version and a spoiler version.
No, fuck that. Straight in
with
the spoilers. Yeah, straight in
with... I had to talk about it twice.
Straight in with the spoilers.
Straight with the spoilers.
I don't see how you can do a movie review and not talk about it and it be... what's the point?
No, I've watched some non-spoiler reviews. If I haven't seen the film
yet. Forrest Gump without doing any spoiler alerts.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't, that's what I'm saying.
Out the gate, you can't.
Tom Hanks is in it.
He runs a lot.
But what's the spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no real way that you can talk about anything without giving anything away.
I love that film, by the way.
Forrest Gump.
Fucking great movie.
He lives an interesting life.
Meet Elvis.
Things happen. Spoiler alert. Things happen.
Yeah, no, that is
you can't do it. It'd be like a 12 second fucking podcast.
Watch this film.
But yeah, we're down. I'm down. Right, we've overran.
We have to be fair,
due to the rant.
We've underran from what. There's still so much. Like this week, I've gone in a big Britpop thing as well.
Pop.
So, Britpop.
Oh, Britpop.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of. You know what it was? Just quickly, last week when we were talking about All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
And I was also known as All Saints Day.
Oh.
And you said the band All Saints. So when I was editing the podcast, I had to find a visual of All Saints.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I haven't listened to them for a while. So I put Never Ever on.
Right.
We were talking about it last time.
Yeah.
I listened to it, honestly, bullshit aside, easily over 100 times the last week.
The same song?
The same song.
You do this a lot.
I do.
Weird.
I obsess over songs. But I've listened to Never Ever, honestly, over 100 times. I can't explain it. Yeah.
That band baffled my head because there was two sisters in it and one of them was American.
No, they're both Canadian.
No, but one speaks English and the other one speaks Canadian.
Canadian isn't a language.
You know what I mean? One has an accent and the other one doesn't.
There was... I know this.
There's Nicole.
There was Nicole,
Melanie.
Melanie and Chasney.
Yeah.
And Nicole and Natalie were both sisters.
Yeah.
Both born in Canada. Both also lived in New York.
Right.
I did not know this a week ago.
Okay.
And then moved to England and were raised here. I met Melanie at school. But I think the younger sister, because she was younger when she was living there and moved over here, had more of an accent.
It's weird.
I know.
Because she's proper Canadian still.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
She's full on.
Whereas Nicole...
It's completely English.
Yeah, she's the one that married Liam Gallagher.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was a fit one.
She's the
fit one out
She's
of
the
the band.
hottest one.
She's the Rachel Stevens.
They're still... Who the fuck is Rachel Stevens?
S Club 7.
Oh, you know what this did do though? It took me down even worse of a rabbit hole because then like YouTube suggests sometimes, and then Sugar Babes came up.
Oh God!
Right,
that's a whole different ballgame.
So Sugar Babes, I didn't realize had some fucking bangers
and some fit babes because there was about 7 incarnations of the band.
They changed like from the original lineup.
Yeah, completely.
There was like no one left.
I know.
But that was like, yeah. So, but then I also found, do you remember Atomic Kitten?
Yes.
They were the Poundland version.
Yes.
Of honestly.
One good song.
Whole Again.
Yeah.
So I watched the video.
2 good songs.
That's the only one I know.
There's Whole Again and Close Your Eyes.
Oh, that's a Bangles song though.
Give me yeah, but it's in my generation, it's Atomic Kitten.
No, because that was you're my age. I remember the Bangles version.
Well, I don't. I remember the Atomic Kitten version.
Okay, then I remember the Bangles version.
You're talking all my language now.
Right, okay. So also the Bangles Manic Monday was written by Prince, side note. But
don't care.
Atomic Kitten, I watched the video for Whole Again. It is literally, I feel like I was like, did I go to school with you? Because you look like you filmed it in a lunch break. That is the literal most one Poundland version of a girl band.
I mean, it's got Kerry Katona in. What did you expect?
She wasn't in that. She was in later.
She was?
She wasn't.
Original Atomic Kitten?
I swear she wasn't.
She was. She was in it from the beginning.
Was she?
Yes.
I didn't know that's why she was famous.
Yes.
I know.
She's still Poundland version of herself now.
Iceland version now, isn't she?
She's terrible. She's as bad as Jordan.
Right, okay then.
Horrific.
Right.
Anyway,
but yeah,
we need to end.
Go All Saints.
Go All Saints.
All Saints over Spice Girls, I'm pointing out there.
Thank you for watching.
Peace
listening.
and love.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.